What's up? What's up? So I wasn't sure if anyone is going to show up just like this on a random, right? Let me just remove this. It looks stupid. Yeah, so I just played the song in full, right? Wait, let me switch to my chat part. Yeah, okay. Two of somebody's right on the stream. Welcome in. So I guess you are free to pick the topic, whatever it is, right? I just felt like streaming for a little bit and see where will that take us. Maybe we'll get some content out of it, like with no actual preparations. I kind of like that. I mean, if you're into something like, I don't know, what happened yesterday in the Linux world, what happened 2 days ago, this entire week, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to too much of the news. I was playing mostly with the OpenBSD on a laptop these days, a little bit with Arch Linux, a little bit with Hyprland and stuff like that, right? I actually used Hyprland on my laptop for the past up to half a year, maybe. It's been a good experience. It's how do I put it? You have a regular laptop screen, like most of them are like 14 inches today, maybe 15, but roughly in this ballpark, right? And in this tiny size, I would call it tiny compared to the one that I have in front of me, right? So in the tiny size, you don't really have much space to make the applications windowed, right? By windowed, I mean smaller than the actual LCD, because if you do that, most of the applications are not that usable. Maybe a chat application can be a little bit smaller. Maybe a terminal application, if you don't use it too much, can be a little bit smaller, but usually you are in for the full screen job in most of the cases on a laptop. At least that's how my workflow looks like, right? For example, at work I have much larger screens. They are 27 inches. I have 2 of them, and in most cases I run everything in full screen. A full screen browser on the left, full screen email program on the right, and then when I switch from the browser to, I don't know, remote desktop, once again there is something in full screen, and when I switch to the terminal emulator, once again it's a full screen one, right? So even if at 27 inches I don't have much of I wouldn't say use of, but I don't have too much how do you say this, I just don't use too much of the smaller apps because I like this 20 plus size for the screens, right? So when I switch back to the 14-inch one, then it's actually too small for what I want. So naturally everything is full screen. and I would do it beyond if I could, right? Joachim, hello to the Sweden, right? Hello Sweden, and hello from Croatia here. How are you, man? So yeah, I have a much larger screen than 27-inch in front of me right now. That's my home screen. So from that perspective, I did usually use windowed desktop environment, right? Because having an application stretched to the 42 inches, it's kind of an overkill. So usually what I would do is the application that I would actively use, I would simply make it roughly in the 27 inches ballpark, something like that. It doesn't matter how big it is. I would just make it like what I feel it's the right size at the moment, right? And I would just put it directly in front of me. And the ones that I don't use, I would simply drag them away in any direction, and they would be like below. So for example, if I have some kind of a chat open like Matrix or Telegram, those applications usually have chat that goes upwards, right? So the freshest of the chat is on the bottom, and these applications I would just pull on the bottom of the screen, and they would be below the application that I'm actually using. So if something new comes up that I may be interested in, I would just see it like on the bottom of the screen, and I would just click that application. And I use this workflow for a couple of years now that I have had this huge screen, right? It kind of works with me, and I haven't been able to use Hyprland, the window manager, the tiling window manager that I like it on the small screen, right? But on the big screen, I wasn't able to get much use of it until now, and I kind of forced myself to use it now. But what I had to use, what I had to do in order to make it a little bit more usable for myself is I had to use the DPI scaling. So I scaled my 4K screen to 1.5, right, scale factor. And basically what this did technically is it converted my 4K screen to QHD screen, right? To 2.5K or whatever you call it, 1440p or whatever. It's not 1440p per se, it's still 4K, but the scaling makes it feel like it's 1440p because that's how much content it can fit right now. So now that everything is a bit larger, now I can actually sit back a little bit more to the back, and I started. All of these pulled a lot of different things, right? I sit a little bit differently now when I'm more at the back, and I'm started using my keyboard slightly differently. I don't know how this all happened, but I'm starting to use Hyprland for a couple of days on the big screen. I guess we'll see where that leads me, right? Iceblade, hello. What's up, man? How are you doing today? So, Iceblade, tell me, what's new in the Linux world? I see that I'm back to the one. Oh, this is jumping like all over the place. 1 viewer, 4 viewers. Well, chat, if you are into something, give me a hint. What do you want to talk about? I mean, if you are a Linux person, I would like to know what is on your mind these days. Like, what have you been installing as a new operating system? Have you been distro hopping? Have you been trying some new software, some new window managers, new desktop environments? Have you been configuring your, I don't know, text console, changing some fonts, changing your shells these days, maybe configuring your Vim or Emacs? Like, what are you up to these days? I want to know. What are people who watch these kind of videos do in their spare time? Iceblade says currently 6, so I'm pretty out of it this week. Consequentially, interesting to make a comparison. Actually, when I'm sick, I kind of do more of the uh, play around with Linux, right? Because being sick, well, depends on how sick you are, right? If you have something really bad, then I'm sorry to hear that. But if it's like a regular flu or cold, or the things that happen very often, in these cases, I kind of I have days off work, and then I can do more of the hobbies, right? Because hobbies don't really require me to have too much concentration as the actual work does. So I do more practice with Linux. Insert caffeine with the 20 sec, which would be Swedish crown, if I'm guessing correctly. Have a great evening, good sir, and thank you very much. I'm going to press the like. Can I press like on this? Why can't I press like? Can you guys press like on the blue message that popped up? It doesn't give me. It doesn't allow me to do that. Why can't I press like? Maybe because it's my stream. So I can press the heart. I can press heart button, but I cannot press the like button. That's odd. But thank you for 20 Swedish crown. Yes, a correct guess. Thank you. Iceblade says the only thing I have been doing is learning Python and Shell, WSL Ubuntu. Insert caffeine says correct guess and then correct guess again. Well, I suppose I have correct guessed twice then. Emil Gautier Lewis, do you use Hyprland? More or less I do, Emil. Yes, I use it. I have been using it for the past 6 months on my laptop. I was just explaining it. And a couple of days I started adapting it to my big screen. You know, my most difficult gripe, is that a word? With a tiling window manager at all, doesn't matter if it's Hyprland or not, is the screen size. For some reason, smaller screen size work better for me with tiling, because in tiling usually you play around in full screen applications, and I have a 42-inch screen on my main PC here, and with 42 inches, if you have a full screen application, it's like a waste of space. You can fit a lot more to a 42-inch screen, right? So if you let me show it to you. So okay, so here we are in Hyprland right now, and let's say you use like Brave. Okay, so this is normal. Okay, you have something in full screen, and then you fire up some terminal emulator, right? So the screen that you're seeing now, this one is 24 inches. I have two of them, 24 inches and 42. So in 24, this is fine, right? You press a super and see, you close the terminal, you have your web browser in full screen. This fits really nicely. And then you need to use something in the terminal. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say that you are using Vim for whatever reason at the moment. And now we have two applications usually side by side. But when you have a really, really huge screen, then what this looks like is that you're watching the web browser like over there, and you're watching the terminal over there, if you know what I mean. So having things pulled away from the center is not really ideal. In theory, you can do that by, I don't know, putting something, okay, not this way, not this way, not this way. Okay, I'm doing some crazy shit right now. Let's kill the, okay, I'm actually not sure how to put things in the middle, like three, how to put three panes one next to each other, right? The default automatic tiling is a little bit, it doesn't work the way my brain works, so I guess it's a matter of configuration. Let's try to kill this one. Okay, now here we go. here we go. So this is getting somewhere where I would maybe want it to be at some point. So let's do the, okay. How do I tell it to, why doesn't it want to go to the middle? I want it to go to the middle. But I suppose I have some shortcuts for this. But the thing is, I have only been using some basic commands on my laptop up until now, and I didn't really use too many of the screens on a 14-inch screen, right? Too many windows. So I mean, you can do the Super C, and let's say that you want your web browser like this, but usually I want it in the middle, right? So in theory you can do like Super V, and then you can just pull it around, and now we are no longer tiling, right? So we are now doing the like in the background we have tiling, but the browser is now in the, I suppose this is fine. I guess if you want something in the middle of your screen, right? And as well on the background you can still tile, right? So let's just exit the Vim, and let's say that let's say that we are watching something in the terminal and doing something else in the terminal. I don't know, ls/edit. So of course you can't see it right now. But if I move this a little bit away, then you can see what I did in the right terminal, and then I can drag the browser back to where I would maybe want it on my large screen, and then I can just do Super V to tile it back in, and it will fit somewhere, right? And once again, I can just resize these things whatever I like, right? Let me just catch up with chat for a second. Insert caffeine, I spelled correct wrong the first time. Okay, good enough. Thanks once again for 20 Swedish crowns. Yeah, gripe is a word in English, thank you. Insert caffeine says that upside of a larger screen is that you just mentioned that you can have apps that usually took up an entire screen being full screen, if you catch my drift, to cover your part of the screen. I do fancy i3 Sway, as I like their way to contain apps as tabs. Floating versus tiling. Okay. Contain tabs as tabs. But apps versus, I mean tiling with workspaces versus tabs. I mean that's not a big difference, right? Let's kill some of these applications. Okay, so let's say that we are starting Brave once again from scratch, and then we are, if you can see up left, it says number 8, right? So the way I have configured it, I usually use the small monitor just for streaming and for content creation and for some side applications. So in essence, it is a little bit less used, right? Let me just quickly change the topic. Stream settings. Where can I change the topic? I have no clue. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. The small screen, I usually need less workspaces, right? So I have the first 7 on the main monitor and 8, 9, 10 on the second monitor. So I can just press Super and 9. Can you see up left? I have now 8 and 9, and I can use the terminal here, right? And we can go to Super 0 and launch, I don't know, Neko. Let's launch Neko here, and let's go to, I don't know, open Mandriva, and some chat is going on here, and now we have Super 8, not 8, 10, 9, and 8, right? So this is almost like tabbing, right? I'm just pressing 8, 9, and 0 to switch between these. If you want to mouse around, you can also click on the number 9 with your mouse, number 10 with your mouse, and it will still switch between these workspaces, which are not that different in behavior than tabs are. So I wouldn't say that Hyprland is inherently, different from what i3 does. It is different, of course, but depends on how you feel it, right? I wasn't ever a tiling person, right? Because one of the reasons why I started using tiling managers is because I feel like it's a better fit for a laptop. And then I came across Hyprland and all of the hype around it, so I just went ahead and give it a go, right? So for now, I'm starting to learn and adapt it to my own needs. So what we have, what you see up there at the waybar, right? This is a default waybar. I haven't actually changed it here. I have it modified pretty good on my laptop, but what you see on the waybar above right now, it's a default one that I just installed like 2 days ago on the main PC. Iceblade says, could you not have 3 floating windows and have exactly the way you want? I can, but then it's a question, why am I using a tiling window manager, right? Okay, let me go to the 9th screen and let's move the this terminal emulator to the 8th workspace. So Super Shift 8, okay, so it's here. Now let's go to the 10th one and let's move this one to the 8th one, right? So now we have everything here. So let's make it all floating, right? So Super V on this one, Super V on this one, and Super V on this one. And we can resize this one. Because I don't know why are we doing this, but that's what the viewers want at this moment, right? So now we have a Frankenstein, right? We have a tiling window manager which is not actually tiling anything. We are just floating around because we are feeling funky at this moment. So yeah, you can absolutely do that, but the most practical use case for the floating is actually pop-up menus because sometimes they are small. Let me see if I can find any pop-up menus, right? Let's run Neko once again and see. Okay, this one doesn't have a pop-up menu. Neko. Let's go with which application has a pop-up settings menu? Jump and Bump, Discord, VLC. Does VLC do anything pop-up like? Yeah, okay. This is a good example. So VLC for some reason did not center its settings pop-up, right? So what you need to do at this moment, you need to hold the super button on your keyboard and just pull it with the mouse, right? And it is almost bigger than my screen is. It is not, so I don't need to resize it, but almost, it is almost out of the screen, right? So you can still hold the super button, and with your right mouse button you can like resize it, and with the left one you can move it around, so you can, so you can handle it properly. But in some applications, what happened to me is that the pop-up settings menu was like this small. I can't speak for the reasons behind it, but it was like this small. And the save button, I could use the settings just fine because settings were behind the scroll bar, right? And I could set up everything that I needed. However, the save button wasn't bind to the bottom of the pop-up, but instead the save button was located at the exact pixel count of the window, so it was kind of hidden from my view. And in order to uncover the save button, because the save button was somewhere around here, right, then I would have to drag the window a little bit so save button would appear on me. So this is like a hot fix of tiling window managers and the way that Hyprland has implemented it, because not applications are truly ready for tiling. but maybe there are some settings that would make pop-ups larger or maximized or something like that. But I don't mind. It's good when you have them. It's good when you have options, right? The upsides, I do fancy floating. Could you have not 3? I still map. Okay, insert caffeine says I still map workspaces to alt number since using i3 and Sway. Are you talking about Hyprland or are you still using i3/Sway? By the way, can you share with me? I know that Sway can use i3 configuration file. I'm just wondering if i3 and Sway can use the same configuration options at the same time, like having the exact same folder for the config files in order to, if you go to Wayland session, then you are into Sway and you configure something in Sway, and then you want an X session for some reason, and then you exit and log in into i3 session, which is of course X. And would you have the exact same settings that you have previously changed in Sway? Do they sync with the config files? That's what I kind of am interested in. And while you're answering, let me catch up with chat. I agree with you, Insert Caffeine says, regarding it's more fitting, at least in my experience, for smaller screens EA laptops. Yeah. But right now I'm trying my luck with the big screen, right? And I'm going to share my opinion on that after some usage, right? So for now I don't have a firm statement on what I think of it because, just 2 days. I really need to use it for I don't know, weeks in order to say I can do this. Like I can vibe with this workflow. Dan says, okay, hello Dan, welcome in. Dan says, hello guys, live streams are the only place I can comment without getting shadow banned for no reason. Dan, actually, I don't know how YouTube shadow banning works, but I have definitely noticed that on every single one of my videos, there is at least one comment, usually more, at least one comment that I get a notification on my email, because I still don't get that many comments, so I just, let them in to my email. And then I go to YouTube and I can't find them. Sometimes I can see the comment if I go to YouTube, to my channel, to my video as like a normal user, and I sort, default is sort comments by most useful or something like that, and then next to it is sort by time, like sort by newest. So next time when you get like shadow removed, try to see if you can uncover your comment by switching to sort comments on this video by latest. There is an option to sort by latest, and see if that shows up your comments, because I have noticed that some comments don't show up in the default view. Like I can scroll down forever, they are nowhere to be found. So it's not like it's just sorted by the most relevant, it's just missing in action. But when you go to newest, some comments appear. I just noticed that. But yeah, you're completely right about comments missing in action. And also Dan says, what's up with font aliasing on VLC? Yeah, so VLC, as I started using Hyprland on this computer just 2 days ago, I still haven't set up everything that I need. Let me show it to you. I know the reason behind it. So VLC by default starts up in the, how do you call it, X Wayland mode, right? So it's not in actual Wayland mode, right? And that's why you see the fonts being not just right, because my screen, the screen that you're watching is not 1x DPI scaling, it's actually 1.25 x scaling, and that's why fonts are screwed up, because X cannot handle X cannot handle fractional scaling. It can't. The only way that X can work around fractional scaling is by scaling to 2x and then scaling back to 125, but then it becomes blurry. So this is not scaling to 200 and then back to 125. This is just upscaling from 100 to 125, and that's why it looks stupid. And I can't find an option to tell VLC how to enter actual Wayland mode. It supports it, I just didn't find how to do it yet. What I can show you is how I did it once, but it's not the perfect way to do it. So we go to the console and then you say unset display. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, you do the unset display and now you call VLC. Okay, now you call VLC and now it's all fine. Why? Because in when you did unset display, then VLC no longer knows where it's at, and it's a little bit confused, I suppose, because the display environment variable is missing. So it kind of defaults to Wayland in this particular case. But when I started freshly from Hyprland, for some reason it enters X Wayland mode, and that's not good. So if you guys have any idea how can I tell VLC to always launch in Wayland mode, I would be very much appreciative of this, because I have spent like entire day fighting with various applications not starting in Wayland mode, including the web browser that is Chromium based, including Neko and some other apps like in Hyprland. Either I haven't set some environment variables properly, or different applications are handling things differently, which KDE Plasma is aware of. So KDE Plasma maybe does this for me, but I don't actually want my desktop environment or my window manager to do things for me. I want to actually learn why is this happening, so I can better understand what's going on. Let me just close this for a second. Insert Caffeine says, I mean like XFC, Kitty, GNOME, etc. Oh, that's regarding the screen size. Okay. I have not tested having i3 and Sway using the same config, but when I switched from i3 to Sway, I did use my original i3 config to start with. Yeah, that part I know. That part I know, and that's one of the benefits, right, of the Sway. So it offers you a smooth transition from X to Wayland if you are an i3 user. Iceblade says, oh, that's weird. I suppose you're talking about the scaling on VLC. Insert Caffeine had to switch basic strings like out and inputs using built-in for wallpaper instead of FEH under i3. Oh, okay. Dan says, on YouTube, if you are a lefty, your comments is left on alone. Those guys can type all kinds of slurs and the algorithm does nothing. Today I typed a comment review regarding a controller I purchased. And couldn't submit 4 times. And yes, they do get deleted because I sort by most recent and refresh, and they're gone 50 seconds later. Interesting. Because I have checked my what do you call them, held comments many times in the past year, and nothing was ever held for me. You know, the auto moderator thing that gives me control to, you know, when the YouTube moderator bot hides something, it should put it under my control if I want to release it back into the public. But never anything appeared in that category. Literally never. Let me just go to the 9th space and go to sorry, did I? Okay. YouTube. Why am I not signed in? What the hell, Brave? Oh, this is not Brave. This is Mozilla. How did I start Mozilla? Brave. This is Brave. Oh, sorry. I'm being a little bit stupid. Sorry. Run Firefox. Okay, there we go with Firefox. Am I logged in here? Why did Brave forget my login? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. What I wanted to show you is if I go to how do I get there? I guess YouTube Studio and just the community and this part here. So the held button. In this part, I just respond to all of the comments until I respond to every single one of them, and then it's clear, like inbox clear, right? But when I go to held, there should be some offensive comments here, and literally comments that may be offensive have been hidden. Oh, we have the first comment ever that is hidden. Dan the B27, is that you? Are you Dan the B27? Wow, I open shorts and get flashbanged by my own comment. Ah, yes. So is that you? So flashbanged is offensive, right? I see. Ah, you're not Dan the B, but there is another Dan here, so I just I don't know how the chat works. Maybe I thought maybe it shows me the username or the actual name, but fine. I mean, this is clearly not an offensive comment, so we are going to prove this one. Stupid. But honestly, this is the first time I have ever seen anything held and given to my control to release back into the public, right? So this is odd at the very least. Anyways, where were we? On YouTube, if you are lefty, yeah, I believe that. I purchased and couldn't submit 4 times, and yes, they do get deleted because I sorted. Okay. I think the X default is a per app basis. If you were to guess, you need to append a command to the launch command to start in Wayland mode. You are correct about VLC that you can start it with append, but how do I do it? Like let's I don't know. Let's go to tent. So how do I do it via Rofi, right? This is Rofi. The application that I use for launching applications, right? So if I type VLC, I don't want to type every single time VLC -- Wayland. I don't know if this is even the correct command. No, it's not. It's not the correct command. But there is a command. Let's How to start VLC in Wayland mode. Let's see if this one can give me a quick answer, unless I can go to Arch Linux. This is something that I have already set, and this does not work. This does not work. Look, Qt QPA platform equals Wayland. Okay, let's go to 8. Okay, see, Qt QPA platform equals Wayland. Okay, press enter, and now let's start VLC. And once again, oh, it's good now. No, it's not good because of Qt. It's good because I have unset the display. Let's do it again. Okay, so VLC from here. See, it's broken. It's broken. Let's do the Qt QPA platform equals Wayland, and let's launch it again. And it's still broken, right? So this environment variable is incorrect. It does not affect VLC. Let me just catch up with chat. I apologize for not reading as you type. I purchased, I think, the X default. Maybe if you get shadow banned, it stays forever on a certain period. I have no clue about that. I just know that if you want your comments to not get removed, you should reply on my Odyssey channel or my PeerTube or my... I'm not sure about Rumble. You can try. I have tiny little experience with Rumble, and almost nobody is following me there, and almost nobody is leaving comments there. So the most comments I get on YouTube and Odyssey. And I say Odyssey, I get less comments on Odyssey, but when you compare the percentage of followers that I have on YouTube, like 2,500 versus, I don't know, 150 on Odyssey, the amount of comments in the percentage of subscribers is roughly equal, right? So I do get a fair amount of comments on Odyssey. So if you're into that platform, you can leave a comment there. And as far as I know, nothing got deleted there ever. Dan says, and buy on Reddit, I mean regarding YouTube. I actually don't understand what you mean by Reddit YouTube. Insert Caffeine says, interesting, the tab died. Had to open a new one. The tab died? Oh, on Sway. Okay. Dan says, I noticed one of the messages here got removed automatically. I don't know how to escape it. One of the messages here in chat, your message or someone else's? Insert Caffeine says banked is a slang though. Could be that perhaps regarding the comment being held. Insert Caffeine regarding the word banked. This is idiocracy. You know, like 20 years ago, you know, or maybe more, there were all kinds of slurs being tossed around, you know, to whoever, and nobody ever really complained. It was fine. People joke around. We had jokes, right? We had humor. And nowadays everyone is offended, right? And everyone needs to be held in mother's arms and shielded from any kind of potentially, maybe this word could offend someone in the world, like we have billions of people in the world, but this word might mean something bad to someone from some other country who speaks some other language. So this may sound a little bit offensive to him, you know, so we should ban, like, I don't know, 95% of normal English language, so that we are absolutely certain then that every single individual on this planet is never offended in their entire life. and we are going to just censor everything on the internet so that everyone is safe and secure, and so that everyone can live happily ever after, and when someone normal tells this person who have been shielded from the world for years, so when someone comes up like a normal dude and says some really normal English word from English vocabulary, not a slur, just normal stuff, and then this person might have not expected this and ends up at a psychologist because it got offended, because it never heard of this word before, or was not prepared to handle it or something. What the world actually needs, and this is my personal very firm opinion, the world needs more of the exposure to basically everything in the society. I don't know how to put it better or more concise. If you don't like something, step away. When you walk around the street and when you hear some people arguing on the street, what is your first, what is your, how do you say it in English? What is your first reaction? You see like 5 guys arguing real hard in the middle of the street, and you're walking by and they are kind of in your way, right? And you can clearly see that they're very, very much arguing. And what are you going to do? Me personally, I'm going to walk around them and continue on my way, right? What is an average offended person on the internet going to do if they stumble across a couple of guys arguing on the Fediverse? What is a person, average, internet person going to do? Of course, they're going to go straight into this argument and present their own opinions on this topic. And of course, they will get attacked as well because it is an ongoing discussion, right? So, I don't know, people on the internet are odd. Let's call them internet people. Could it perhaps create an alias for apps to start them with Wayland? Yes, I could do that. But all of these, insert caffeine, all of these are workarounds. What you suggested with the alias absolutely will work around the problem. But I need to know what is going on under the hood. I must understand the engine, if that makes sense to you. Because if I don't understand everything, then this channel doesn't make too much sense, right? One of the reasons why this channel exists is because I want to grow and learn as much as I can. Humans are capable of improving themselves a lot, and of course, when I need a quick fix, I will fall back to methods that are known to me, which includes making an alias. This is perfectly fine, but the Wayland stuff is very new to me, and the Wayland stuff is generally new to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't actually know how Wayland functions under the hood, and a lot of developers haven't properly implemented Wayland support. So all of this gets combined into one giant mess, right? If the application isn't handling Wayland properly, then desktop environment might be able to intercept some of this behavior and inject the startup of this application. For example, KDE forces VLC to start in Wayland mode. Hyprland does not. But then again, a lot of other applications on Hyprland start in Wayland mode perfectly fine. It's not an actual Hyprland problem. It's just that KDE Plasma has some tricks up their sleeves. And that's because they have existed for far longer. They have more experience. They have been playing with Wayland for years, right? While Vaxry of Hyprland, he only just started creating Hyprland from scratch like a couple of years ago. So we can't really expect a single guy and a couple of maintainer helpers to be able to catch up with the entire KDE Plasma team who have been doing something for many years. It's not realistic to expect this, but also I still don't think that the VLC problem is Hyprland related. That's the thing. Have you test? Wait, where did I stop with chat? Perhaps create an alias. Okay. Insert Caffeine says, could it be that Rofi uses X-Wayland too, therefore not inherit the environment variables? Yes, that is correct. Rofi uses X-Wayland, and Rofi also looks like crap, just like VLC. But I'm not using Rofi. I'm using Rofi Wayland fork. Pacman -q grep Rofi. There you go. I'm using Rofi Wayland version. That's why it works properly. Have you tested Wofi? Yes, I have tested Wofi. Wofi is native to Wayland, and Wofi sucks. One of the first things that I get annoyed by with Wofi is this: when you want to launch something, let's say I want to launch Neko, okay? I type NHE, and for some reason in Wofi it cannot find Neko. Maybe it wasn't Neko, but some other applications. But it was a problem with caps. The first letter was a capital letter, and of course, I type only small caps on my keyboard, because why the hell would I type a first capital letter when I'm searching for an application? That doesn't make sense. And Wofi, if you don't type the exact, the first capital letter, if the application is labeled in the menu with the first capital letter, it cannot find it, like the application doesn't exist. And then you need to delete the word and type shift and the first capital letter, and then it finds it. So I just uninstalled it and installed Rofi, because Rofi is older and more developed. And then Rofi had X-Wayland scaling problem, and then I was searching how to fix that, and then I stumbled upon Rofi Wayland fork. This fixes every of my problems that I have. So for now, I'm perfectly happy. I don't need anything else for launching applications. I'm good, and we can continue with the other challenges, right? Just use MPV instead VLC. In theory, I agree with this, Alyosha. I agree, and welcome into the stream. I agree with this, but I still have the need to understand what is up with VLC. I might end up using just MPV in the end, but I also need to understand and fix my VLC problem, so that when somebody asks me how to fix VLC in this particular use case, then I will have, the answer literally in my sleeve. That's what I need. I need more knowledge. I need to understand what's going on. I will get to the bottom of this. Just maybe not during the stream, right? Is there like a VLC config file that just has a setting that causes it? Iceblade asks. I haven't actually checked, but we can go ahead and see. VLC. We have. I don't think there is a Wayland config in here, but VLC, there's nothing in here, I think. Let me know if I skip something by accident. Draw pics, enable graphics, vplane, draw bands. Let me just help you out with my picture here. Video, wall number, wall element, panoramics, attenuation. This file is a lot larger than I expected. Video output, XDG shell. XDG shell. Wayland display. Iceblade is onto something. X video adapter. I'm just trying to get quick answers. To run VLC with Wayland support on Hyprland, we can use the command VLC. Okay, that's what we tried. Dash WL display equals Hyprland. So maybe I should just type Hyprland here. I'm just guessing now. Hyprland. Okay. VLC. Nope. And that did not do it. But that was just a little bit of a guesswork. Where are we? A Wayland integration. Under what? Video window connects to the Wayland video window connects to the Wayland compositor. Okay, where's the settings for this? Wiki video LAN org. Wayland. Let's try. No, not that. Let's try this. Let me just check something. Sorry for not catching up with chat. I really wanted to see this fixed. Is there a VLC config? Ignore the Reddit regarding YouTube comment that was related to one other comment that I made and it got shadow banned even though I said nothing offensive. Is there a chat moderation here? In the insert ad, display ads, create highlight video, stream marker, share, live chat, top chat, fan funding. What is fan funding? Okay. Participants, moderation activity. Okay, let's show moderation activity. Okay, I have enabled moderation activity and timestamps. Community moderation. What is that? Oh, that's irrelevant. Today, YouTube still lets all kinds of slur pass, but from certain accounts only. If I use any of these same slur, I'll instantly have my comment be deleted. The algorithm is woke friendly. And I agree regarding slangs and slurs. When it comes to corporations like YouTube, they will do anything to keep the ad. But now we're coming to the money topic, right? The companies who pay for ads. I have nothing more to add to this statement. You're like hit it to the center of the target, even to the detriment of its users. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but if YouTube actually cared for free speech and comment section clean from bots, that would be pretty doable, but you still see a bunch of bot comments in almost every channel. I haven't really seen any bot comments on my channel yet. I did see them on big channels, like really big channels. You would see like a channel with 200,000 subscribers and like some podcast and people like discussing technology, and you would see like tens of comments, really stupid ones, like thank you for this wonderful content. It's been a pleasure to watch. Like, not necessarily a bot, but it's really an odd comment. Like, it's a comment which you could apply to every single video on YouTube. That makes me think that it's a bot, right? I agree regarding the workarounds for apps. Insert Caffeine says, since Wayland is rather new, so to say we are living in Channing times. I have no clue what Channing means. So to say, hopefully things will apply better and better support as time goes. Well, definitely things will improve, but there is another problem that I want to talk about regarding improving Wayland, right? So people who are working on Wayland are doing this at a certain speed or cadence, and it is up to them how fast they're doing it. Kudos to them for doing it. I'm not a programmer. I cannot help. If I could, I would. But you know, they are doing it. They have limited amount of hands on deck, right? And maybe some new programmers could come along and help them develop Wayland slightly faster, right? Every new developer that could work on Wayland is most welcome, in my personal opinion, right? Because Wayland can't, how do I say it? It's been in development for far too long, right? It's still missing some essential feature that I actually want to use. For example, in X, I have frequently used remote X session, right? I would SSH into my server where I would, code something. I said I'm not a programmer, but I'm learning. And the things that I learn how to code may be having an X window, right? Like graphics application. And I would draw something in the window, something would be happening, in a graphical window, right? And since I'm doing the coding on the remote server, in that case, I cannot show I cannot run the application because it's not locally, but I can actually run it because I can just export display through SSH tunnel. I can just tell my remote server to launch the user interface of my application on my own screen, on my own local computer. This works with X since forever, and we don't have this in Wayland at all. It doesn't exist. So, a regular Joe user which just clicks in Ubuntu and has no clue how did it even install, because he just clicked next in the installation method. That person doesn't need this functionality for remote display, right? I need it. Wayland doesn't have it. So what do we do now? I'm just saying, it's lagging. But where were I actually going with this? With all hands of deck. Hyprland guy, he made a significant improvement to how pointers work in Wayland, and KDE Plasma team has really liked what he did, and they wanted to apply that patch that Vox3, the Hyprland guy, did. They wanted to apply that to KDE Plasma as well, but KDE is friends with Free Desktop, which are doing the standards, right? So they could implement this, what Vox3 did, but if the Free Desktop says that the Wayland standard will not implement this, then only Hyprland and KDE will do the pointer thing that way, while GNOME will do it in some completely different way. And all of the other desktop environments based on GNOME, including the what's the new one called from System 76, Cosmic, right? It is not based on GNOME, but it is friends with FreeDesktop, right? So KDE likes the solution, they want to implement it, and FreeDesktop, what did they say? They said that Vox3 is a bigot and they banned him from FreeDesktop. So now we have a legit capable programmer that is actively working on Wayland in his own project, but is banned from contributing to Wayland specification for everyone in the world to benefit because they don't like how he speaks. Now, how stupid is that? Because the Linux community is this big compared to Windows, world. And within such a small community where we need every single one of the developers to having all hands on deck in developing everything for everyone, right? So that everyone could have their lives improved, right? In our free software. And then we just ban each other, like ban, because I don't like how you speak, I am offended, and let's just ban everyone, because why would development go any faster than it could, right? Just give me your opinion on this. I am sorry for behaving like this on stream, but when I remember how things are being handled in the free software community, not in the entirety of it, but in some cases, I get a little bit okay, I'm gonna catch up with chat now. Alyosha says, I think environment variables in Hyprland need to be set in the config file. Now we are getting somewhere, Alyosha, but unfortunately I am one step ahead of you. There we go. Alyosha, you wanted me to do this, right? Is that what you meant by environment variables need to be set in Hyprland? Because I already did that, yeah, and it doesn't affect VLC. It affects other applications though. So this line here actually works on some applications, not on VLC. Insert Caffeine says technical evolution in a sense. Okay, I'm old enough to have played with BeOS, OS2 Warp, and when GNOME was called Ximian Desktop. Oh, I remember Ximian terminology. Iceblade says like it had no fuzzy. You mean fuzzy find? I guess that's what it's called. Iceblade is asking about Wolfie, the thing I talked about 10 minutes ago, but sorry. Yes, I don't know. It didn't work the way I like it, so I switched to Rofi and I'm happy. Dan says type 1 probably. Type 1 probably. Is that regarding the VLC configuration? Wayland display equals. You think I should? Is that where you wanted me to put number 1? I suppose not, because it didn't fix the problem. Insert Caffeine says, dang it, I spelled changing wrong. Try W display equals 1. Yeah, it didn't work. Oops, not searching. Wayland WL dash display equals Wayland display. It's a string. It's a string, not an integer. So I don't know. Wayland maybe? That makes no sense, but actually I have one more idea. Yeah, this did not fix it. I have one more idea. Let's type Hyprland with capital. Wayland. Let's type Hyprland once again, but with capital H. Hyprland. Hyprland. Save. And let's do VLC again. No. No, not fixed. No, Brock123. Hello and welcome to the stream. Hello, I came from one of your Open Mandriva, one of my Open Mandriva videos, I suppose, and you made me interested in it. Thank you very much. That's a nice comment. I'm using MX Linux for my daily drive, and I'm considering moving to Open Mandriva when I have time, of course. I have my Node.js and Docker projects, and do you think I should move to Open Mandriva or stick with what I'm using right now? I want to use Open Mandriva, but kind of afraid it might bork my projects. Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't tell people to move away from what works for you just because somebody on the internet made a review on another distro and said it's good, right? It is what I said in that video is my opinion on Open Mandriva and not exactly a call for people to switch if they are happy, right? Usually people switch from one distribution to the next one because the next one gives them a solution to the challenge that they have, right? So if you are having a problem with MX Linux, then you might want to consider the next distribution. So I don't work with Node, so I'm not sure how much I can help you, but as far as I remember, I installed Node for somebody on one of my Open Mandriva live streams. Somebody asked me to install Node live on stream, and it was like a single DNF command, and that was about it, right? So what else did you say that you use? You use Node, Docker, yeah, whatever. Do you have any possibility to run Open Mandriva on a different computer temporarily to see that if it can handle what you need, and then switch with it to the main computer? That is a good question. If you don't have two computers, maybe you can run a virtual machine. That is another one that is also a nice way to try, because I think it's a good distro. It is its own thing, right? It's not based on anything. It's not based on Debian. It's not based on Fedora. It's not based on Arch. It's not based on anything. It's based on Open Mandriva, right? So from that perspective, it's kind of unique. But the developers are pretty cool, and they are very helpful. If you go to their Matrix chat, you can ask them all sorts of things, and they are always willing to help. And the community is rapidly growing. The community is rapidly growing. So if you get stuck with something, you can always go to their chat room on Matrix, and you can also ask all sorts of questions, and people are like regularly answering here. Even the main guy, right? Better Linux, that's the president of Open Mandriva Association. He is always in chat and answering what people ask. Also, they have a forum. Let me just switch. Open Mandriva forum. This one is pretty active, and a lot of people are learning and answering to the other people. So the knowledge is being carried around, right? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool what's going on, because the whole thing started flying like off the charts in the past month, and that's one of the reasons why I covered it. So I don't think that what I can tell you is that I don't believe that you will lack support with this distribution. If that can help you to decide, then that is it, right? If you will need help, these people will for sure be willing to give you a hand, even a quick hand on chat, if not on forums as well. But when you type something on the forum, the same thing appears in the Matrix chat at the same time, so people can respond faster if they feel like it. So all things considered, it's a well supported distribution. Whether everything will work out of the box, that I cannot promise to you, but a lot of things actually do work out of the box. And some things did not work for me, and I have given them my feedback, and they literally fixed it all in a matter of few days. The things that I have, I don't know every English words, but you know what I told them, right? Insert Caffeine says, as the expression goes, separate the artist from the art. Yes, I can understand this. Alyosha, did you remove the message because you wanted to remove it, or did YouTube remove your message? I just want to know that, because it says message retracted. I suppose you have removed it, Alyosha, and that's fine. I just wanted to know that YouTube did not do it in your name. Kden the Raver, welcome into the stream. Welcome in. How are you doing, Kden? What's up? Insert Caffeine isn't Open Mandriva based on the old Mandrake distribution. Please correct me if I'm wrong, of course. Insert Caffeine, yes, but it's not that simple. It was Mandrake first, and then it transitioned to the Mandriva as a company, I suppose, and then they renamed it to Mandriva. Sorry, the company name was Connectiva. Sorry, the company name was Connectiva, and they used the word Mandrake, and they merged it, and they renamed it to Mandriva. So like Mandrake, Mandriva, Mandriva, Connectiva, right? And the whole thing actually went to the ground in 2012, roughly. Don't take me for granted for the year. I may have missed it a little bit. And by 2012, the project was dead. Company was dead. No more, nothing. And then guys from that are now Open Mandriva, they arrived, and they kind of got the permission from the previously defunct company, Connectiva. They got the permission to continue this project. How much of the actual code is from the previous Mandriva, that I don't know. You will have to ask people on Matrix Chat. I don't know. Maybe we can ask them right now. Let's do it for fun. Let's do it for fun. How much of Open Mandriva code is from Mandriva Connectiva? Is this a good question? But yeah, I believe that Open Mandriva is not the entire Mandriva code. So I guess we are going to find out. Insert Caffeine says, yep, while true, do, and one, welcome to the stream. Nobara is the best. Well, Nobara is good, but Nobara is not a distribution. This is my opinion of the definition of the word distribution, because it may be a little bit stretchy term, because Nobara is not really doing. I may have messed this one up, since what I'm about to say could apply to Mint as well. Because what Nobara is doing, it is using the actual Fedora and just giving you a better for gaming out of the box experience, right? So whatever Nobara does out of the box, you can do literally the same with Fedora if you do it manually, like prepare, like install all of the things that are installed by default on Nobara. If you prepare all of the gaming tools on your Fedora that are prepared by default on Nobara. So Nobara is actually just Fedora, but modified for the gaming experience out of the box. So from that perspective, I'm not sure if you should call it a distribution, but then again, everyone seems to be calling it a distribution. So let's see what the author says about his own distribution. Nobara Linux. Nobara project. Okay. Let's see what this is. We recommend using Ventoy. We offer 5 versions of Nobara. Official, la 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 la. Where is frequently asked questions? Will there ever be other desktop? Will you create minimal network torrent? I heard Nobara breaks and Nobara compatible. Can I upgrade from Fedora to Nobara using Nobara repositories? This is a huge no. I imagine normal updates are fine. Is the kernel how modified is Nobara aside from what I can see? Heavily. Nobara is working with snapshots of the Fedora repos that are usually synced once or twice a month. Okay. So it's not in the state where it used to be in the beginning. Because in the beginning it was based on a release version of Fedora, not on a snapshot one. Yeah, okay, I can see why they call it a distribution now. This went a lot further than the last time I watched this web page. Okay, case closed then. Now it's a distribution. Insert Caffeine says, I used Mandrake back in 2001 on my then school computer. Yeah, Mandrake was the first Linux distribution I have ever used in my life, which just worked. No manual configuration needed. No drivers configuration needed. Nothing. Welcome into the stream. Bro looks like the CEO of Linux. Who would be the CEO of Linux if you're not talking about Linus Torvalds? I mean, who is the CEO of the kernel? While TrueDo and one is this a different Linux distro? You have asked this like almost 10 minutes ago, so I'm not sure what you were referring to while through the end. Please repeat what you mean by, is this a different Linux distribution? Alyosha says, no, I wanted to remove. Okay, good. Insert caffeine, I was quite active back then using JamD, just another modified distro, which was Red Hat based. Insert Caffeine says, thanks for the clarification. You're welcome. While Trudeau and too many random Linux distros. Yeah, that's also a fact of life. Not a bad one, but a fact that we deal with. A lot of options and choices, right? While Trudeau and I just stick with Fedora-based Linux distros. Well, all the power to you, because I think every Linux distribution is fine if it does what you need it to do, because after all, it's just a tool, so if you want to make a political statement, you could, by choosing or not choosing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you want to get stuff done, and if this distribution does it better than this one for you, right, in your use case, then by all means use this one, right? While true do and one, I'm too stupid to do all this stuff on Fedora. Plus, doing all this stuff on Fedora is a headache. Yeah, I can understand this as well. I'm just kind of a person who likes to do the stuff manually, not because I'm a masochist. It's just that I like to learn why is this set up this way, and why do I have to set this up this way? And if something breaks, then I, want to fix it myself. I don't want to just reinstall and have it magically fix itself. It's just how I am, right? I want to learn as much as how the engine works under the hood as I can. And I don't just want to put the shifter into the drive and press the gas pedal. That doesn't seem adequate for me. I need to know how the engine works from the inside of Linux, right? I need to know how the cylinders behave and in which stage is the fuel being injected and how much air is being injected into the mixture, and when the spark is being ignited and why, and at which angle, and how much can I change this angle in order to get more horsepower. All of this is very important for me because it is me, right? So I never tell people like you have to be this way or this way. So I still think all the power to you for saying that Linux should work for you and not the opposite, right? Insert Caffeine, perhaps Nobara is better though as a spin of Fedora rather than its own distro. But technically it's not a spin, right? Because the guy who created Nobara, it's the guy that works for Red Hat, right? Not sure how many of you were aware of this fact, but the guy who literally creates Nobara, he is an employee of Red Hat. And if he wanted, I am sure that he could pull some of the sleeves of his colleagues and tell them, give me, the rights to make Nobara a spin of a Fedora. But he doesn't want to do that for some reason. I have never asked him about it. I have never seen him talk about it. That doesn't mean that he hasn't already expressed his opinion on this, but I suspect what is the most logical answer is that he wants the freedom that comes from creating his own distribution that is not an official spin of Fedora, right? No matter that he is an employee of the company. So from that perspective, I can understand this freedom to do whatever the hell he wants, right? With his Fedora modification. As it is based on Fedora with some gaming related changes, yes. I mean, the guy who created Nobara is also a guy who created the custom version of Proton with the prefix GE, that's his name, Glorious Eggroll. So he is quite an important figure in the Linux gaming community from this perspective, right? He offers amazing out of the box gaming experience on Linux with his distribution, and of course he also provides some tools for me who is on Arch Linux at the moment, and previously I was on Debian, and in both cases he provided me with GE Proton versions which would make some games playable for me, games which would not work with out-of-the-box Proton version that comes bundled with Steam, right? So I am very grateful for his work. He's really, in my opinion, very important person in the Linux gaming community. No, Brock123 says, thanks for the answer. And yes, I have my old laptop. This should do it. Yeah, I definitely recommend going with OpenMandriva on an old laptop and see how that goes. While true do end one, ignore that it was an old question. Okie dokie. KVolt95, welcome into the stream. I tried OpenMandriva for about a week. Let me just pull my... okay. Okay. I just moved my stream a little bit, but now it's too far. Okay, that was a mistake. Oh, now it's fine. Now it's fine. KValt95, except being welcomed to the stream, says, I tried OpenMandriva for about a week, but SDDM kept restarting 5 minutes into my desktop session and logging me out, so it was unusable for me, unfortunately. I still keep an eye on OpenMandriva though. Right now I'm trying out Void Linux. Okay, that's a good choice to try out. As with... what did I do? Did I pull some windows into the window where I'm streaming? That's kind of... oh, I know what I did. I was pulling them with my mouse. Okay. Anyways, with regarding SDDM, I haven't had any issues, but if you do, and if you're willing to help, you can report these issues, to people who are working on OpenMandriva, even if you don't intend on using it right now. But, if you give them a report, what you have experienced, maybe they will fix it for other people. So, doing a good deed without getting involved too much, right? You don't really have to do too much. Just tell them what happened and what your specs are and how did you get to that point, and, let them do their thing. They are pretty good at, getting on top of things that seem like an important thing that needs to be solved. Insert Caffeine says, good input regarding glorious egg roll tranks. Well, it's a facty input, right? Anion Ion, welcome into the stream. Man, too early for what? For Americans? I want to create an issue on GitHub, but I think I should get enough informations on GitHub about OpenMandriva. Well, if you're talking about OpenMandriva, you can always start with their metrics chat, and they will tell you where to report your issue, right? So sometimes they will tell you to go to GitHub because that's the official place where you report problems, and they stay as an open problem until they are fixed or closed. Also, you can type on the forum. The forum is a little bit more lenient, so not as strict as GitHub, right? On GitHub, you really need to make your report as structured as possible so that the developer can get their hands on properly, right? While on the forum, it's more debatable, right? On the forum, not only the developers, but also other users, other experienced users will hop on to give you a hand at maybe they will give you a fix, right? Maybe there's already a fix for your problem. If not, maybe they will give you a hand on how to approach reporting the problem properly. Open Mandriva is like my family. Yeah, I agree. Oh, I know who you are now. The green avatar DT. Like it's not DT, but it looks like DT to me. Like what was your country? Kazakhstan? Sorry if I'm mistaken, but I think it was Kazakhstan for some reason. You said Bangladesh for a city? So sorry, I usually forget people, but some of you guys are really memorable. Good. My RAM is working fine. See? So when I go to sleep, I just use Hibernate so that I don't forget where you're from. But yeah. Bangladesh. Okay, apologize. But why did I remember? I don't know. Maybe I. Okay, I'm a bit stupid. But apologies. I wasn't planning to be that stupid on stream. But I did try to remember, because on chat you said that you go to bed when I start the stream, the Sunday stream, right? The one that we're doing tomorrow, the classroom thing. By the way, the rest of you who are in chat, I want to show you something for those of you who don't know what I do on Sundays. So on Sundays, okay, let's go to my channel. So on Sundays, what I do here is that we have this one that is animating, right? Every Sunday we have a classroom and we learn Linux. And we learn Linux in a structured way with official booklet from, that's not the right word, but LPITS 1. So this is a Linux Professional Institute, which offer a legit certificate that you can pass if you want to show off, if you want to get hired somewhere where Linux certificate is valued, right? Or if you just want to increase your knowledge. So we are using these official LPIC learning materials. They're completely free to download. And this is what it looks like. Let me show you the last session from the last Sunday, right? Well, LVM is a part of Linux. Vladimir, okay. Thank you very much for warning me about this. Can you hear it? Thank you very much. Can you hear the stream? Logical volume management is what Linux gives you as the... Shilan is laughing at me, but I'm being serious. I think more... Yeah, so that was the mount command, because a lot of people in the stream did not actually quite understand how mount works under the hood. So it was a lot of drawing about this topic. Okay, Anion. I'm just speeding through so you can see what's going on. What is unclear? Something. Oh boy, This is a lot to talk about, and even more to take into your stomach if if this is the first time that you're hearing of this. I'm going to add a second hard. Okay, I just muted myself, but this was about logical volume management. We added a second hard drive and stuff like that. And on the right side, you can see the chat, right? I call the chat my Sunday chat. I call them a classroom, right? Because people are literally participating in the in what we are doing, right? And at the end, not that one. At the end, we do the questionnaire, right? So people try to answer the questions in a correct way. Me too. I try to answer questions because it's not like I know everything, because I also want to pass this exam, right? So all in all, it's a really fun experience for me, at least, and for the 15 people that keep showing up, right? No, Brock 123. I just basically think of the mount as mounting a disk into my computer, and that's it. Well, yeah, that's the base of it, right? But the people who were on my last Sunday classroom, they were quite confused as to what exactly mount is doing, right? Into where does it plug into, and how does it do it, and why can we have why can we mount another drive into a folder that is not empty, and where did the files go that were in this folder when we mounted something else, and now we no longer see these files? So what happened, where they got deleted, and a whole bunch of questions. Basically, we spent like an hour and a half just on a mount command. You can check the entire stream on my channel for one more day, and then I'm going to put it up for Patreons only. So you're free to watch it today, right? Iceblade says LPIC only for the cool boys. Well, LPIC only for boys and girls who wish to inflate their amount of Linux knowledge. That's what I think. So yeah, if you want to participate, you're free to come. Tomorrow, I will post the announcement for the stream on my channel after this live stream, right? I actually managed to catch up with chat, right? Gals included in the last comment. Yeah, I understand. I have a problem with my legs. Too much sitting on my legs. I should change my position more often. I'm dead. Okay. Better now. Yeah. So next topic maybe, or do you want me to end the stream? What's up? Actually, I just remembered. Someone sent me a link to watch. Where was the link? Just give me a second. Found it. YouTube. Copy link. Let's see this one. Let's see what this guy says.
Okay, hey everyone, project update. So I've used Apple stuff for probably 20 years. Apple stuff. And their stuff is really solid, really fast. But for me, lately, the approach they're taking and their software is suffering from that new wonderfully accurate term that is enshittification.
Apple and enshittification. That's quite fitting, I would say. That's quite fitting. I don't think I would make a better word. I guess I'm not a native English speaker, but this word really feels at home in this scenario. Okay,
So what do we do?
what do we
Well,
do? I know.
I already went through the process of switching from iOS to Android, and I'm
Okay.
still alive. And people even still text me. So
People even still text me, which places this person immediately in the United States of America, because in Europe we don't use iMessage. Nobody does that, not even iPhone users. So we have now placed the person into a country. Good.
it's possible. You don't have to use iMessage.
I know.
So if I want to switch away desktops from Apple, there's not a lot of choices. We got Windows, but if you've used Windows, you know you don't want to use Windows.
Okay. The fail pop-up, I guess it's still a thing on Windows. Not in that form, but we do have crashes with Windows nowadays still, yeah. Especially with drivers and stuff like that. But he's not wrong.
I have to use Windows for work. That's no fun. I want no part of it. And that
Sorry for interrupting this guy so much, but he said he has to use Windows for work. And in that regard, I think I think there is room to go around that, but I guess that depends on what type of company you work for, because some companies will give you the ability to choose your operating system, especially if you are an IT guy, right? Zoran Mostalic, hello.
leaves us pretty much just Linux. That rabbit hole of nerdery that is Linux on the desktop. It's almost like telling your music friends that you're getting into modular synthesis, which I tried. So, do we dare go into Linux on the desktop? We do. We do dare. I found an old desktop from Dell on eBay that I would feel okay messing around with. I bought that for $200, erased it, and installed Linux. And it was easy. It was easy. I picked the, hey, you're switching from Mac, just try this. Ubuntu. I tried it. It worked. It's really nice. It's really nice. Am I
Good approach on going with the. I know I muted myself. Apologize. Good approach on going with the old desktop to see to dip his fingers, right? And going with Ubuntu by default, also a good choice in my opinion, because people who intentionally go with the most difficult distribution out there just to feel their nerdiness steam out of their ears, that does not always work out, right? So in my opinion, thumbs up for going with a distribution which will give you a sense of how much Linux can just work, right? So if he will want, and sooner or later he will want to try all of the other nerdery that is out there, he will switch to another distribution sooner or later, and he will distro hop. I can guarantee that to you. But going with Ubuntu for a first one to get an idea of how things can just work, that's a good approach in my opinion. Insert caffeine, I have to go, thank you. And you are all awesome. I hope to catch you all soon, and waves, and wave back at you as well, and hello Zoran as well.
making this on it? Yes, I am. Can I read email? Yeah. Can I make videos? Yeah. Can I listen to Spotify? Yeah. Can I spend too much time reading the news if I want to? Yes, absolutely. Surprisingly, it's been fun. Actually fun. I don't know if you remember this, but computers, exploration, learning, it can be fun. You don't have to just be shoveled ads and upgrade paths and be warned, oh, you're about to be out of storage. And the more I use this, the more it makes me think that Apple stuff.
Now, he mentioned storage. So I have a Mac friend who is pretty much not interested into going outside of the Apple ecosystem. And that's his own choice, of course. But he bought a MacBook Air, the base model that has 256 gigs. And he keeps telling me how he has like 100 gigabytes of system hidden things, like 100, like almost 50% of his SSD filled with something that he doesn't know what it is, and he cannot reach these things because the Mac operating system does not think that the user should worry about this. So at some point he told me that he did a system upgrade or something like that. I may have wrongly remembered, but he definitely told me that the size of this 100 gigabytes of shit has decreased significantly, and he was happy because he had more free space. And a couple of days later, he told me like it grew back again, and once again he doesn't know what happened, and he now needs to buy a new Mac because this one just keeps filling up on its own, and he cannot upgrade the SSD because it's soldered to the motherboard, so he has to buy a new computer. And this is kind of interesting with the Mac, right? He will still continue buying into the Apple ecosystem because he loves it. I'm not even calling him out on that. But, while my friend has this attitude, this guy here, what was his name here? This guy here, Bill Moriarty, he clearly is not happy with enshittification, and kudos to him for going into this adventure, right? So thumbs up for that, man. Thumbs up. Nobrock says, speaking of distro hopping, can I install one Linux kernel and then having 4 distros on the same disk? No, you cannot do that, but you can install multiple Linux distributions on the same disk, like dual boot, right? Put one distribution on one partition, the second one on the second partition, and each one will have its own kernel. So you can dual boot multiple Linux distributions at the same time. Boot this one, then reboot to the other one. You just have to give them separate space on your hard drive. It is possible, but you have to be careful about how you're approaching this, because not every distribution is able to handle dual boot automatically, and you will, with some distribution, you will have to pay attention with the process of partitioning, right? So, for example, OpenMandriva will detect another Linux distribution already installed on your hard drive, and it will just give you an option install alongside the existing distribution. OpenMandriva will do that automatically for you, and it will give you a future layout of what is going to do to your hard drive, and it will show you in colors how the existing Linux distribution is going to be shrinked or shrunk, and how the OpenMandriva is going to be installed on a newly created free space. So from that perspective, it's a pretty good second distribution, no matter what the first one is. Same goes for the third one and the fourth one, right?
Can you open up your Mac and add more RAM? No. When you're running out of space, can you open it up and put in a bigger hard drive? No, you cannot. Can you tell the OS you want to do whatever you want and install whatever you want? No, you cannot.
Correct.
You can do all that stuff with this Linux stuff. However, there's a huge learning curve. Let's say you want to do something like, install an app. There's not just one place. You can run a curl command in the terminal, or there's something called a Flatpak. There's something called a snap, or do you use the Debian version? So that's a big learning curve. I don't know all that stuff yet.
So what he has probably learned by now is that curl command, being one of the one of the ways to install applications, Flatpak and snaps two others. Of course, that's absolutely correct, and the Debian package is also correct. But there is also app images. That's something that he has probably found out by now. And also RPM packages and Pacman packages. You know, every distribution that is not based on anything else is using their own package manager. So I can see how this can be daunting for a new user. But once again, kudos to this guy for actually wanting to dive into the wonderful world of nerdery of Linux users, right?
But I'm learning it, and I'm actually having fun learning it. It wasn't that hard to switch. I'd say the iOS to Android was harder. I paid for an app called 1Password. I exported all my passwords out of Safari, imported them into 1Password, and I'm set up. There's a large community of people online messing with the appearance, customizing how it looks. That's a lot of fun. And your computer starts to feel like yours again. You're not being pushed on upgrade paths. There's no ecosystem login. You're not being shoveled new OS upgrades that you have to install because they have a new feature that they...
Well, arguably the lack of ecosystem is sometimes a negative of in the Linux world, right? When this desktop environment is not 100% compatible with that one, and Wayland not being 100% compatible with X org server, right? And when VLC doesn't want to start up in Wayland mode on the on Hyprland, right? So there is, he will get to that at some point. But yeah, it's a wonderful world of freedom. It's a wonderful world of freedom where you can choose your favorite distribution that comes with their Halo desktop environment, and when the distribution maker is taking care of you, that everything works for you properly out of the box. Let's say Open Mandriva with their KDE Plasma, or Ubuntu with their GNOME, or whatever, right? And like Mint with Cinnamon. Those are all first-class supported desktop environments that will work out of the box really, really well for most of the people, right? But when you start customizing things, because you will start customizing at one point, then you will have to inflate your nerdery level to a lot higher degree in order to catch up with all of the intricacies of how the Linux engine works from the inside, how the combustion works, how the cylinders behave. And I'm talking about systemd and grub bootloader and the text console and the graphical user login managers and whatnot, right? So SSH and terminal with Tmax, Zoran says. Yeah, correct, absolutely correct. Let's let the guy finish what he has to say.
They have to add so they can sell more computers, So I'm having a lot of fun. Maybe you'll have fun. Let me know if you're trying it. Let me know maybe you've already been doing this for 10 years and I'm just way behind. Either way, computers are fun. Computers are fun, guys.
Computers are fun. Computers are fun. This is one of the most genuine. This is one of the most genuine statements that I have heard in a very long time. Computers are fun. Yes, they are. They absolutely are. You need to have a certain level of freedom in order to gain access to this fun, though. So, why did he say computers are fun? Because he's not talking about proprietary operating system that have for their goal shareholders and money, and trying to close you up in their ecosystem, trying to squeeze every one last penny out of your pocket. as much as they can. So from that perspective, yes, computers are fun. I think that Bill, I think Bill has absolutely nailed it. Kudos to you, Bill, and welcome to Linux community. Welcome in. No Brock 123 says this hits in the feels. So true. Well, everyone who is on my stream, go give a follow to the Bill. Go give a follow to the Bill. I have linked his video in the chat. Give him a warm welcome to the Linux community, please. Give him a welcome. I think we need more. I think we need more of the people who are ready to feel the fun in computers. I think this is awesome. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, we have not fixed the my VLC yet, and it's still showing up the wrong font rendering, right? So we are still on my lessons that start tomorrow. Okay, that we are going to do tomorrow, and this is tomorrow. Where were we with VLC? Do you guys want to troubleshoot VLC with me still, or is that not something that you care about? Let's go to search Brave and ask Brave the AI. Maybe that one knows how to fix this, because we have tried a couple of different ways to force VLC into the Wayland mode without too much success so far. So what can we do? How do I set up VLC config file for Wayland only? I don't know if that's a good question. Okay, this is what we have already done in Hyprland. This is something that I already done in Hyprland, so that doesn't... Oh, it's a command for running VLC, but I don't think that will work. I don't think that will work. Let me just pull my picture away from a second. I don't think this will work properly. Yeah, it doesn't work. For some reason, VLC just doesn't give a damn about this environment variable. Nobrook 103 says, can you log the VLC when it is starting up? Blindman, yo, hello, welcome in, Blindman. Let's try VLC -- help. I'm searching for verbose or debug or help verbose. Ask for extra verbosity when displaying help. That's not it. While trudo and one, I have a question. Why is it on Linux distros that some videos will not play in Discord? Some videos will not play on Discord. Well, that could be a Discord issue, but I don't really remember Discord not playing videos. But you know, don't take my words for anything meaningful at this point, because I don't use Discord that much. I don't know. Zoran says Qt QPA platform equals XCB. Why XCB? I'm trying to find the debug mode for VLC. Video program. In the config, v out equals Wayland. Are you sure? look what I have. I have WL dash display equals Hyprland. I tried Wayland as well, but that didn't work. So let's put this away. And you said V out, right? V out. Okay, V out. V out equals any. Okay, let's comment that out and put V out equals Wayland. Can we... Okay, let's try that. Let's try this. Alexei Schilling, welcome into the stream. We're trying to fix my VLC not going to Wayland mode on Hyprland. VLC. Unfortunately, Zoran V out equals Wayland did not fix the problem, as the scaling still doesn't apply properly, and it doesn't apply properly because it launches in X Wayland mode. We need to force it into Wayland mode somehow. What else did you say? In the config Wayland, okay. We talk, what's your opinion on self-hosting email servers? What are the biggest cons? That topic like dropped from the Mars. We talk, I can answer this question, but doing this topic and VLC at the same time might not be the ideal way to use the resources of my brain. But basically, hosting email at home. So the first problem you need to solve is if you are going to both receive and send, then you need a static IP address, because in almost all cases you will have to have a static IP address assigned to you via your internet service provider. And then on your router, some of the ports forwarded, that is the easy part. Then you will install the email server application, software, whichever you want. That is not the too hard part, but there will be some learning curve regarding the configuration. And then you need to configure your DNS entries and your text entries and your FS. What are they called? FS. Let me just see my email address. Dig. Do we have dig? Yes, we have digs. Dig at mx. linuxrenaissance.com. linuxrenaissance.com. Could not get address. What the hell? linuxrenaissance.com. That's not right. Oh, I'm stupid. Sorry. Just without the at, it's just mx linuxrenaissance.com. There we go. So, where are the flags? Where are the text entries? Man dig. Mandig B address, class, file, usage summary, key file, port, name type, X address, node, dig, flag, add flag, answer bad cookies, CD, comments, cookie, crypto. Where are the text ones? Fail, first time. Sorry, I know what I'm looking for. I just don't know what is the command to reach for that. Basically, you need to configure some txt, not commands, but variables in your DNS for your domain that will tell every receiving email server to which you are sending email to be aware that if the email is coming from your domain, it can only arrive from this one particular IP address. This is really important because almost every email server in the world will reject receiving an email from you if you don't have this defined with your particular IP address for your domain, right? So that's why it is very important to have a fixed IP address for your home email server. So if you can do all that, then yeah, you can host email at home. I actually have a plan to do that as well. With email, I'm just busy with a lot of other things that I'm doing at the moment. And when I give myself into one topic in particular, then I tend to finish it all the way until the end, right? I don't want to jump between different projects, right? So let's go ahead with VLC. Who said that? Alternative v out GLS2. Okay, let's do GLS2. V out GLS2. Nope. No, did not switch it to Wayland. Alexis says also MPV is better. Yes, it's better, but if I don't know how to fix Wayland, then what is my worth? You know, what good am I if I can just switch to another application when I stumble across a problem, right? What am I good for if I just go with the easy way out, right? Something I don't know how to fix, just uninstall it and use something that works, right? So then what that makes me? It makes me a newbie, right? So I can use and I will use MPV, okay? I will use MPV after I fix VLC. We have a deal? How am I checking that it runs under X Wayland mode? I just see the fonts that are not being rendered properly, because I know how to force it in Wayland, and then it's fine with the fonts. You can see the fonts are ugly because my display is 1.25 scale. Have you tried, Alexei said, have you tried setting QPA platform environment variable? Env name could be wrong, writing from memory. Yes, I did. Look. Wait, what is this? Okay. Hyprland env equals, there it is. Alexei, this is what you're looking for. I have it set up in Hyprland. Next alternative, vout equals automatic. Zoran, was that not what it was set by default? And I have removed it 5 minutes ago. Oh, it was any, not automatic. It was any. Okay, let's go with automatic. Automatic. Nope, not fixed. But if Alexei still wants to see the problem, see here, Alexei, the fonts are not as they should be. The fonts are stretched from 100% to 125% in a crude way. Alexei says, try XLS clients to be sure. Okay. I don't have this command, but this is Hyprland, so I have hyper hyper control. Hyper control. Active window, gets the active window name. Properties, get hyperpaper instance, get options, kill, layers, monitors, notify, output, plugin. There must be a command that gives me the running applications. In which mode are they running? Get system info. Zoran, that would work. If you're talking about running from shell, that would work, but I don't want to start VLC with extra commands. Alexei, I can just install it, but I wanted to use the Hyprland method because I know it has it. Let's go to where is the wiki for this? No, Hyprland wiki. Monitors, dispatchers, window rules. Wayland. Let's see what do we have about Wayland. Wayland. I will install your software in a minute if I don't find it. Force apps to use Wayland. Well, this is one of the things that doesn't quite work. This is just for the Chrome browser. Hyper control clients. There we go. You can check with hyper control clients. How did I not see that? How did I not see that here? Clients, list all windows with their properties. Okay. Okay, whatever. Window, Hyprland wiki, VLC, media player, VLC. How many VLCs do we have? 2. Okay, so VLC says X Wayland 0. So it's not running on X Wayland. But this one is. Why do we have two VLC windows? Let's close one. I mean, let's close it like this. And let's run the command again. Oh, it's config screen. Just the... that's not VLC, that's just the terminal. I'm stupid, okay, sorry. Okay, let's run VLC again. And... oops. Clients, okay, VLC media player is running on X Wayland. Window. Okay, that's the terminal. Okay, class Kitty, right? I haven't seen it in the first. That's Kitty, right? So this is VLC and it's running on X Wayland. Ion is asking, what are we doing? Setting up Hyprland. Well, I have already set up the basics of Hyprland and I'm fixing one thing at a time, right? So right now I'm having troubles into forcing VLC to go to Wayland mode. Alexei, you might find this interesting. Okay, Alexei, take a look at the font, right? You can see, you can see the font is ugly, right? So let's go out of this application. You can see that the application was running on Wayland. Okay, so unset, okay, unset display. Okay, we have unset the display completely, and now let's try to run VLC, and voila, the fonts are fine. Why are the fonts fine now? Why did it switch to Wayland mode, and how do I know it switched to Wayland? Let's go with Hyper Control clients, and it's no longer in X Wayland mode. So why did it switch to Wayland after I have unset display? I don't understand this. So when I do this, it goes to Wayland mode. But how do I do that permanently on the session level? I see. In this case, try echoing that var as said above. This one? Yeah, it doesn't work. No worky. No worky. With unset display, I have shown you a clear proof that this application on this install on my computer in this desktop, and not desktop environment, but in this window manager, it is capable of starting in Wayland mode. We can clearly see it. But how do we set the environment variable that VLC is going to respect? It is a bit puzzling. VLC is bad. Anion, I will switch to MPV after I fix VLC. If you can help me, good. Alexei says, because X11 applications know how to connect to X server via display and variable. If you unset it, apps will no longer be able to connect to X11 and will use next available choice, which is Wayland. Yes, and can we do that with VLC somehow? Songa, maybe it's a bug within VLC. Alex, I don't know. I don't know if it's a bug or just not that great of Wayland implementation, because to me it seems like it's not respecting the environment variable. Geon Maras is asking me to do this. There you go, Geon Maras, and welcome into the stream. Alexei Schilling, no, I said above to echo Qt QPA platform in the terminal. Oh, okay. Was this supposed to output something? Or did I type it in a wrong way? Geonomaras says, so set it this variable in .profile file. I have set the environment, the $sign. Says Wayland, but let's start another client. Yeah, it still says Wayland because the reason why it does that is because cat.config hyperland grep env equals, okay, So these are my Hyprland environment variables. So Qt QPA platform is already defined in the Hyprland configuration file. So it is already global in this session. Thank you, Songa. The only question is, why is VLC not respecting this environment variable? Can I try featherpad? Oops. Not the window I wanted to pull. Featherpad is fine. Geon Maras, I have not built VLC at all. This is a binary package from Arch Linux, but this VLC does support Wayland. We have already launched it in Wayland mode after we have unset display. Thank you. We have already we already have the proof that this VLC supports Wayland. We just can't convince it to start in Wayland mode every time. VLC player control sync play VLC, yeah, or whatever. It's the only one. XDG session type Wayland. I think I have set this in Hyprland config. XDG session type. Yeah, I have it here. This is all that I did yesterday. Like all of this I added yesterday, except the first two environment variables. Those were like a default setting. I added all of these guys here. So which other environment variable could VLC respect? VLC Wayland environment variable. Alexei says, so it is VLC specific. It seems to be. Oh, we have already been on this page. Nothing helpful here. Documentation. I don't know if anything is here. Forum, knowledge base. About media player rules, sandbox, printables. Let me just check. VLC. Yeah, okay. I was just for a second I thought that I might have installed it as a Flatpak, but no. Okay, documentation, quick start, install, main, open, command line. This could be helpful. Documentation, streaming, hacker's guide, core, modules, internals, requirements, modules index. Okay, let's go to command line. Opening streams, module selection. Alexis says, send you a link to Matrix. Send me a link to Matrix. Arch Linux Wayland support. Copy, link, no. Copy, okay. Wayland support, okay. VLC Git builds with Wayland support by default, but that's not what we have. We don't have that. Set Qt QPA platform, okay, to enable Wayland. See Wayland Qt for more info. Note that although the enable Wayland build flag is used in the VLC package build, which currently uses VLC 3, X-Wayland is used anyway, as Wayland support on VLC 3 is broken. Interesting. Video output in VLC may be cropped or otherwise malformed unless Xorg Wayland is installed. With the following command, VLC 3 will start using Wayland. Environment. What the hell? Environment -u display VLC. So this will unset the display just for VLC. Oh, this is the this is the actual command that runs, right? But can we use this command? Okay, I know that this will run fine. Yeah, it is fine. But can we use -u? What is -u? -u is unset. Okay, but can we unset an environment variable just for one application? That is the question. Could you repeat the problem for VLC? Geon Maras, it doesn't start in Wayland mode. It always starts in X Wayland mode, and I want it in Wayland mode because I have monitor scaling enabled, so fonts look stupid. I want to fix it, and I want to understand the root cause of it. So we can force it to go to Wayland if we unset the display option, but that's not the ideal way to do it. So obviously the Git version in Arch user repository is like a solution to this problem, but I don't want to use that one. Ion asks, X Wayland is Wayland, correct? No, quite the opposite. X Wayland is the way for X11 applications to show up under the Wayland session. It's like I don't know how to compatibility layer, let's say. When I say X Wayland, or when anyone says X Wayland, it means that the application is running on X 11, not on Wayland. But at the same time, we are running a Wayland session, right? Alexei, you're correct, but this is just a lame workaround. I don't really need VLC. I just wanted to understand what's going on and how can I properly fix it. Okay, with scripts, it's fine. It's the easiest workaround possible and probably the lamest one. But yeah, I can make a script that launches. It doesn't solve my need to see what the hell is up with the application. I can send it to hell and just switch back to MPV as you said, but I want to give it enough time to be able to have leverage to call it trash application if it doesn't do what I want it to do. Okay, now I'm being mean, but you know, if I don't give it a proper chance to do what it's supposed to be doing, then I might as well blame myself, right? Channel level settings. How can I keep forgetting how to. VLC is not trash at all, but it's not trash. It's one of the most out of the box experiences that everyone has had in many years. Like no need for installing codecs and everything just plays. So from that perspective, it's awesome. But I'm getting annoyed with the situation in which I am, right? Songa says if the problem is within VLC itself, then it is much harder to solve. Needs digging into their project. Give me just a second. Search. I'm in a different window. Search. Alexis says, I think the real issue is why fonts look different when using X-Wayland, because Xorg cannot handle fractional scaling. I have set 1.25 scaling on this monitor here, and 1.25 is not particularly possible under X11. The only way you can do it is by scaling up from 100%, which makes the font like aliased. And the other method is by scaling to 200% and then scaling back to 125, which enables anti-aliasing, but then they are blurry. So either they are aliased or blurry. You cannot have both under X11 or X Wayland. Same thing. Ion says actually VLC is good, but on Wayland it just doesn't work properly. That's why I use Baruna Player just for playing videos. I'm good with the MPV, I don't mind. I just wanted to fix the interface of VLC because 2 days ago I started modifying Hyprland for my needs, and I'm literally fixing one problem at a time, right? I want to have VLC installed and available for me for times when I want to use it, right? There are times when I want to use VLC, and I want it to be as best configured as possible. Alexis says, same, just using celluloid, libmpv frontend. Okay. No, Brock123, I gotta go to sleep. It's very late here. Good luck with your VLC. Good night. Good night to you. Which version of VLC do you use? Version 3.20 something. Uh, 3021. Geon Maras 3021. Alexis Schilling says you can adjust DPI in Xorg. It won't work for different displays, but other than that, it is totally possible. But it will not be as crisp as with Wayland. So I don't know. I can set it to 100. I can set it to 150 and just have it appeared properly on my main screen and a little bit too large on my right screen, right? Because I have different DPI scaling on my monitors. You think it will show up properly? Okay, but I can't. Can I do that without restarting my Wayland session? The command will give you a line which ends with your primary monitor dimensions. Connected primary, X render, X. How to permanently set your display DPI. Geon Manas, try also this in your environment variables. Qt QPA platform team equals platform team. Why would platform team affect this? CT. Or 6. That did not do anything, and I actually failed to understand why would it. Alexis says put again minus set in dot profile and source it. But why do I need it? Why do I need to set it in dot profile if I'm literally doing it in this terminal emulator in this session where I'm starting VLC as well. I don't think that matters. I mean, I would put it in .profile if it would actually work. But it doesn't work, so why put it in .profile? Alexei says put xft.dpi number into x resources and also force disable scaling in Hyprland. Oh, force disable scaling for X Wayland applications, right? That makes sense. That makes sense. Let me just see what I started reading here. This is a little bit more complex than I thought. It's not just a percentage. Okay, DPI says half a meter. Yeah, that's about right. I think that's okay. And HDMI says 1.6 meters. That's too much. That's incorrect. This is absolutely too much. It may be like 90 centimeters or something. Again, okay, I understand. I'm just checking what these instructions are telling me. 96 is default usually, so you can multiply that by any coefficient you want. Okay. I'm just looking. How to permanently set your light DM conf dpi conf. Okay, I don't want to do this right now because the stream will die. Home.x resources. Yeah, that's what Alexei said. Okay, all roads lead to Alexei Shilin, the master. Good. Let's not look any further than this. X resources. Geon Maras came here just to say congrats on your Linux distribution video thumbnail. We don't see Slackware logo quite often in these kind of videos. All the best in your Linux channel video journey. Thank you very much. To be honest, you cannot make a video about, you cannot discuss the topic about which distribution, right? Without giving your, sorry, I'm not a native English speaker. What is the word? Giving so you need to pay respects to the elders, right? So the Debian, Slackware, Red Hat, no matter what you think about it, it was one of the first ones. You have to pay your respects to all of them. You cannot just say, oh, Arch Linux and Mint and NixOS. Nah. These are the new guys on the block. You need to do it properly, right? So that's where I come from. Slackware will always be. I may not be a fan of a Slackware. Not that I have anything against Slackware. It's just not my thing, right? But you have to pay your respects to the elders. That's my opinion, and it will stay like that forever. Even if Slackware dies, it will still be on the wall, right? The wall of fame, to be precise. And thank you for dropping into the stream, right? Let me just catch up with Alexei's advice for the put. Okay. Number. DPI, let's go with 96 for now. And see if we can get it to appear in non-scaled mode, right? If 96 is default, then it should appear as 100%, like no scaling, right? That's what I would expect. And you said I should unset it in Hyprland. Wayland force 0 scaling. Okay, let's skip this comment for now and see if this changes anything. It didn't. Was it X resources? Sorry. X resources. Yes, it is. Okay. Is it literally like, oh, I need to put space. Okay, let's put space. It's the same. Okay, let's go with Hyprland now. X Wayland force 0 scaling. X Wayland. X Wayland. Fix some dragging issues with X Wayland. Okay. There is no other mention of X Wayland. So did you mean this doesn't seem like this doesn't seem like a Hyprland configuration. This shouldn't go here, but I can save it and it will complain with an error. Yeah, it's complaining. Invalid config line. Under what is this supposed to go in Hyprland configuration? I may have found it. Gestures, input, mists. Okay, let's just go to the Let's try like this. Now it's no longer complaining. X Wayland force 0 scaling equals true. Force 0 scaling equals true. Okay, so we'll see. Yep, now it's 100%. Okay, let's try Neko. Let's try Neko. Oh, it's on the, it's here. Okay, let's kill Neko and run it again. Yeah, Neko is in Wayland mode and it is still listening to Wayland settings. That's good. That's good. And 9, 8. Let's go with 8 and start VLC. Okay, VLC is good. I mean, it's scaled to 100% where it looks in its absolute best. But let's see if we can now adjust the .x resources and multiply 96 with 96 times 1.5. So 144. 144 should be 1.5. And yeah, let's just do it. And it didn't scale. It didn't scale. But the reason why it didn't scale and it's now on 100% is because we have changed the Hyprland configuration. So now Hyprland is ignoring the scaling for X Wayland applications, and I suppose that X resources file did not get executed. Could need X Wayland restart. Yes, but then my stream will die, so there we go. XRDB merge. Scaling looks perfect, actually. Scaling looks great. It's a little bit too large for this monitor, but it will be fine on my main monitor. Yeah, on my main monitor it looks just about right. Tools, preferences. This looks awesome. Why can't I click cancel? I cannot click cancel. I cannot click anything here. I can click escape on my keyboard, but preference, where did preferences, where are my preferences? VLC got stuck. It's no longer responding to anything. Okay, I killed it. Geon Mara says Qt scale factor, Qt font DPI equals 144 VLC. Can you please explain, Geon Maras, what do you mean by that? Which scenario is this solving? Is this what I'm? Where do you want me to undo what I did with Hyprland not taking care of X Wayland apps scaling? Do you want me to go back and undo that? Or what is this? Where do you stand with this solution? So I can go to preferences and it shows up. Oh, now I can click cancel. Yeah, I don't know what happened previously. It just got jammed. Alexis Schilling, those will only affect Qt apps though, and other X Wayland apps will look awful. Yeah, I know. I agree. But that's why I asked Geon Maras, what is it? What is this command supposed to fix? Let me quit this one and 120. Let's go with 120. Nano.x resources 120. This is 1.25. Okay. And now it's back to 100%. It didn't scale. This is not scaled at all. Let's try 200. Okay, this should be 200%. It's not. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot to merge this. Now it's at 200, okay. Nice big window, okay. Let's go with let's go with 120, which should be 125% of 96 PPI, DPI, whatever. Save this and merge it, and we'll see. But it's not. It's not. It's this is 100%. Look. Let's go with 96. It's, oh no, it's smaller. Okay, so this is 100%. Then it works. Then it works. 120 works. It just seemed too small. XRDB. Okay. 120. Okay. 120 once more. It's fine. It's fine for this monitor. It's fine for this monitor, but when I drag it on the let me float it a little bit. When I drag it to my main screen, it's a little bit tiny. It's a little bit tiny for my main screen. So I'm gonna restore it to 150. Okay, 150%. Merge, and once again, this looks a lot bigger than 125 for some reason, but maybe it's maybe it's a font thing in VLC or something. The 125 looks a bit too small, and this one looks way too big. It's like this is not what I thought it would be. No, you're correct, Alexei. The values do work, but 125% seems a lot closer to 100% than to 150. That's to my eyes. But on my main screen, this is fine. This is fine. Let's try something between 120 and 144, like 135. Let's see what happens. Yeah, now it's a little bit bigger. Now it's a little bit bigger, but it looks odd. So the question is, why? Actually, let me check something. Hyper control clients VLC media player Wayland 1. Okay, so it is running in Wayland mode, and the interface looks good. So if the interface looks good when Wayland is scaling, then why can't Hyprland order X applications to show up properly, you know, on each monitor and everything? SBin init says, I only use Debian and Cinnamon and it's perfect. Okay, thumbs up for that. I agree. Whatever works for you is definitely perfect. Gian Maras, try this, for example. Okay, let's try that. But before trying it, I will do 96 here so that everything is tiny. Okay, now it is tiny, and now let's try what you said. Okay, cute scale factor 125 VLC. Yeah, that worked. It increased. This worked. This works as well. I hate Debian for accepting my hardware. That's a weird statement to make. Okay, so what have we learned with this command here? If I set Qt scale factor to 125, then this affects Qt applications. But does it affect them on a global level also in Wayland mode, or just in let's make it large. Okay, so we have it at 200%. And let's do Wayland application. Let's kill Neko. And let's start Neko here. Okay, so here's the problem. This variable affects all Qt applications and not just the X Wayland apps. Okay, so Georg Manas, while your environment variable is fine for Qt apps, it actually broke my Wayland session, because all my Wayland apps work fine. Because my Wayland apps scale dynamically according to which monitor they are on. And we have literally broken this functionality with this environment variable. So I cannot use this. Ion says you cannot use ARC graphics cards on Debian because of the out-of-the-box kernel. Yeah, Alexei Shilin is absolutely correct. Ion, I use Debian at work, and I have official 6.12 kernel on Debian from backports. It's really easy. You just enable backports and pull the new kernel and new firmwares from backports, and you'll get the new kernel. So no worries about that. It blows up too much for some reason. I don't mind having it so big, but it's a bit odd. Like 140 maybe. I probably shouldn't be doing that. See what the difference is between 140 and 144. At 144, it blows up way too much. Look, let's go 141. Okay, it's still the same because 140 and 141 is very close. And let's do 142. And 142 is still very close, okay? Which is fine. I would expect so. And 143, I would expect 143 to be very close in size, of course. And it is very close to the size, okay? And now we go to just one more, and now it will blow up like a balloon. Look, it looks like 200 now. I don't get it. Ion, it's not out of the box, but it is official support. Debian officially gives you a new kernel via Debian backports. These backports are maintained by Debian developers. You absolutely can get the new kernel and you will not have any issues with your distribution. They are properly supported, these kernels. You may not get the latest security patches on the same day as the vanilla kernel, because that one gets security patches like number one in the row, first priority, right? But you will get everything that you need. Alexei Shilin says, I think it decides to scale the UI. Ion says, I never knew that. Look. Debian backports. Okay, so you go to Debian backports. You have instructions here. I think this is where it will tell you how to do it. Add backports to your sources list. Okay, so you need to add bookworm backports to your sources list from Debian.org, right? It's official. And when you refresh the with apt update your packages, then you use the this is easy, right? Apt install -t to pick the repository. So it is the bookworm dash backports and then the package, right? And the name of the package for the new Linux kernel is going to be like Linux dash AMD 64 or something like that. I don't know, maybe we can look it up. Packages, Debian.org. I don't have Debian installed at the moment, unless on my work computer. Non-free, stable. Where are the backports? Backports. Package directories, content packages. Debian Linux kernel backports. Okay. Debian backports. How to install. We have already been here. How to install kernel from backports. Okay. So the name of the kernel is Linux image AMD 64 and Linux headers AMD 64 if you need this. So check if you already have Linux headers installed in your system. If you don't have them installed, then you don't need them from backports as well. Usually Linux headers you will need if you install, I don't know, VMware maybe, or NVIDIA drivers or something like that. So I don't think that you will need this, but if you install it, it doesn't matter. It will not be a problem if you install it but don't need it. Also, you can install firmware-linux if you use wireless, because you might need some newer firmware for your new kernel, right? Firmware firmware-linux, there is a good chance that you will need it if you have wireless. I'm just saying. I mean, firmware Linux is a bunch of packages. So when you try to install firmware Linux, it will tell you that it is going to install a whole bunch of things. So you don't really have to install everything. Just see what it is telling you that it is going to pull, and then cancel the command and install just the firmwares that you are sure that you are going to need. For example, wireless, right? .2. Yeah, you will get 6.12. You will get 6.12. 6.11 at least, but I think it's 6.12 at this date. You don't have to install firmware-linux, but if your wireless stops working, then remember me. Remember me at that point. Aeon Cool, I will try out maybe soon on Virt Manager. Yeah, fine. Where were we before we switched to Debian topic? It scales really weird. Yeah, it scales really weird. That was the topic. Okay, so we are now at like 150. Let's try to boost it just a little bit. 145. So this shouldn't change anything visible. Yeah, as expected, it didn't change anything visible. And let's go to 192. So this is a lot. It must be bigger. But it's not. It's not bigger. I mean, the entire internet is saying that Xorg cannot handle fractional scaling at all. So the way KDE does it for Wayland applications and X applications when in X11 session, the way KDE does it is that it scales to 200% and then it shrinks them to whatever fractional scaling you want, and then everything becomes blurry. So I am inclined to believe that X applications indeed cannot do fractional scaling. However, when I do 120, it does feel that VLC is slightly bigger than at 96. So I'm still puzzled. Could be a VLC thing. I don't want it to be a VLC thing, no matter how stupid that sounds. Let's try 150. Sorry, I started sleeping. Let's put it back to 144 and leave it like that. And I will play more with it after the stream when I can refresh my entire session. So I will play with this on my own. But I mean, on my main screen, it looks not that big. It is a bit big, yes, but it's not that big of a problem. It still annoys the hell out of me though. I need to get it to work in Wayland, and then I can sleep in peace. Also try with Discord if you still have it installed. I have Discord installed, but that one is Flatpak. Okay, so our scaling. Let me see just. Okay, clients, let's find Discord. Friends on Discord, okay, X Wayland 0. So Discord is running in Wayland session? No wonder it looks good. Does Discord support Wayland? No, seriously, I thought that Discord developers have been dragging this for a long time and that it doesn't actually support Wayland still. Why does it report that it's running in Wayland mode? So what's the truth? Com Discord app. Oh, this is Kitty. Okay. So Discord seems to be running in Wayland mode for some reason. But Discord doesn't work well on Wayland. I'm just saying that it runs on Wayland. It did start in Wayland mode, okay? So it's useless for my comparison with... Alexei Shilin says, didn't you unset display? In this terminal? I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Let's run another one. Okay, in this terminal on the top right, I did not unset anything, okay? Echo $display. It's nothing. I mean, I don't know, I'm confused. Discord. How did I even run it here? Com Discord app. Okay, whatever. Once again, it's not... once again, it's in Wayland mode. Ion says you cannot share screen. Well, that's probably correct, but I don't care. I don't care that much. Let's go here. Voice chat, and let's go with share. Turn on camera. Share your screen. I'm not sure if I can share the exact same screen that OBS is already grabbing. Let's try just a window. Let's try the and now it crashed. Fun program. Oh, it's behind. Get lost. What is this? What is this window? Let's try again. Tell us about your call experience. Bad. Bad experience. Other. Thanks for the feedback. Okay. Let's go with voice chat. Share my screen again. Window and Kitty MC. Kitty MC and go live. Your stream is still running and now it crashed. Ion says, oh no, seems like you can share. I don't know. It's a bit crashy. It's a bit crashy. I wouldn't call this a pleasant experience, to be honest. Let's go again. Let's share. Does that mean it does not work? Well, judge it yourself. I'm just trying to be a user here. Judge it yourself. So let me try to capture HD, the other display, right? The other display. The other display. The other display. The other display. Where do I go to the stream? Okay. So now I am in the stream with myself and I'm watching my stream and my stream is showing nothing. Actually, it seems to be loading, whatever that means. Quiz, stop streaming, turn off the microphone, change window stream quality, source. I need to pay. Yeah, bugged. It seems as they may be working on it, because at least it appears to be willing to recognize the screen that I wanted to share, but it's not actually doing anything. Oh, upstream one does. Do you think that I should download the Pacman version? Let's go with Pacman version. I know they can coexist, but I like to delete them. Sudo pacman -s discord. Okay, actually sy, just to sync properly. So yeah, let's just run it. Discord. We cannot run it from this terminal because that's how it is. And now we can run it. There we go. We are still logged in from the last time I used it. Who knows when that was. But we are still here. Streamer mode is enabled. Okay, let's go to here. Voice chat. And share my screen. Share entire screen. It didn't ask which one. Which screen? Share entire screen. Which one? Oh well. Now it asks. Okay. So HDMI. Oh, it seems to be working. Let's go to the chat. Okay, so this dude seems to be sharing his main screen, right? And it all appears to be working. Let me just check in which mode is this running. Hyper control clients. Discord is running in Wayland mode. Okay. So it's running in Wayland mode and it actually shares my screen. Flatpak version is held back. Okay, I have read that. They are working on it, but you can tinker with the config settings, then you can use it on Hyprland smoothly. Okay, I think you can execute rehash command to reload executables in shell without restarting it. Rehash. I have closed it. Look how long it takes to... I have sent it a Hyprland close command. Oh, it didn't close. It's in the oh. Okay, I see where it is. When I tell my applications to close, I want them closed. Linux settings. Save yourself a few clicks. No. Minimize to tray. No. Okay, let's close it now. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, you said rehash. OpenSSL? How did I get that? I just wanted to see what rehash is. Help rehash. It's a shell. Oh, it's a shell. Okay. No, I switched to Bash, but just to adapt to your workflow. No worries with Bash. I must say that other than VLC behaving less than ideal, the rest of my Hyprland session was pretty good today. My OBS works perfectly. I can do a couple of desktops on the helper screen. I call it like a not my main screen, right? What I already said a couple of times. I have a bigger main screen for my work, and the small one is just for streaming and for content creation, because it has a smaller resolution, so I have less need to zoom in on stuff that I show on that screen, right? So it's better to record on that one than on the one that has a crazy resolution, and then I have to zoom in on everything, right? So what I'm doing these days with Hyprland, it's okay. I just need to get used to how my stuff works on the main screen, right? On the helper screen, everything is perfect because it's a small screen, like 24 inches. And the big one, I will need a couple of weeks to use Hyprland exclusively to see where am I at with this and how much will I want to tune it. Determine and remember the full path name of each command name. If no arguments are given, information about remember commands is displayed. I'm just trying to read if there is anything similar in ZSH, but okay. I guess it doesn't matter right now. Okay, so I had Neko open here. Alexei with the last link and open Mandriva. Did anyone reply to my question? Who knows? Neko is not that good at telling me where the last... Yeah, they didn't answer my question. Okay. It is good. It is good. Time for end the stream, guys. 3.5 hours. 3 hours 46 minutes. It's good enough for one sitting session, right? So after you install something, just run rehash in ZSH and it will appear there without restarting the shell. Yeah, I understood that. The only thing that I wanted to see is something that will explain to me what this command is. you know, I can go on the World Wide Web and ask elsewhere. That's fine. I will learn what that is. I mean, I can do it right now, the way I want it. Linux rehash command. Yeah, that's what I was. Computer hope. Recomputes the internal hash table of the contents of directories listed in path environment variable to account for new commands added. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. So the purpose of the command, right? I understand that it will fix my problem. I just wanted to understand what exactly it is, right? I am pretty sure that I will get the same answer from the other website that I opened. What is the purpose of the hash command, right? Okay. After installing a program looking for a whale to tell an open shell to update their cache. I often have 6 to 8 of them open and I don't want to have to run hash 8 to 10 times. Okay, this one has this one has a bigger problem than I do. What is the purpose of the hash command? If you run hash, it shows the path of all commands run since the hash was last reset. Hash table is empty. Okay, this is useful. This might actually be useful at some point. It's good to have this in the back of my mind. Good, let's go with hash grep Discord. Okay, so Discord is here. Good. Good. I see where this leads. Very nice. So hash and rehash. Or hash dash r. Mastering bash rehash. Simplifier command usage. What is rehash? The rehash command is a built-in bash command that serves a very specific purpose. It updates the command hash table. This hash table is utilized by bash to store the paths to commands that you have previously executed. The importance of rehash lies in its ability to inform bash that the environment has changed, allowing the shell to recognize new commands that have been added since the last time it checked. This is particularly vital for users who frequently install new software or switch between directories that contain newly added executables. Good, good. Exactly my use case. Master shilling for the win. Seriously though. I don't know who is teaching who here. Am I teaching you guys or is Alexei teaching me? Thanks a lot for the learning session. But I am going to end the stream now because I started to be hungry. So I'm just gonna kill it at roughly 4 hours mark, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, right? If anyone feels like contributing to my Patreon, you're welcome to, join my Patreon page. I would most welcome anyone who can help out. So it is the last thing that I have to say before I kill the stream. And thanks to everyone who already joined. Not too many of you, but I appreciate both of you. Yeah, see you tomorrow, right? Iceblade says, Darn, I just returned. You're good, Iceblade. Iceblade, if you want to learn something new, you should rewatch only the last 15 minutes where we have discussed the rehash command. That part was useful. The rest of the stream, not so much. The rest of the stream was just like fun, right? The last 15 minutes was something that you will want to check out. And yeah, thanks a lot, everyone. And, see you tomorrow evening, right? At my time, right?